Hello, I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program at the El Paso Community College. And as you can see, we're all working from home. We're coming to you virtually, bringing you a show, bringing you information that is so important for our community. We continue to serve our community through Mature Living, through EPCC TV, and we have wonderful things planned for you today. And we're going to start our show by introducing a couple of ladies that are Medicare advisors, and they are with WellCare Health Plans. And so I want to introduce Leslie Del Cid. Hi, Leslie.
Hi,
how are you?
Good, good. Thank you for having us.
Great to see you again. And Claudia Merkle, Claudia, thank you for joining us as well. From a place where you're together, you're safe, and we're so happy that you're taking the time to talk to our community about what's important. Tell us a little bit about WellCare and what your organization does.
Well, Mary, with WellCare, we do offer additional benefits for those who qualify for Medicare. You do have to be eligible with Medicare Part A and Part B. We help with additional benefits such as dental, vision, hearing. We help them with incentives as well. So those are things that we add on to as well as like over-the-counter things like that that we assist with.
Yes, and you know, you as advisors, what is your work comprise? What does it comprise of?
Well, we do a lot, to tell you the truth. We don't just, it's not just focusing on a plan, but just helping them out. A lot of the times they qualify for additional benefits that are offered through federal government or through the state. And there's a lot of benefits that they might not know that they qualify for or they're entitled. So we do help them. We guide them with that. We tell them, you know, just what's out there to see if they might be interested in something else, because it's not just Medicare Part A and Part B. There's so many resources out there, and we try to guide them and advise them as to what's best for them and try to help them out with stuff like that. So, and of course, you know, presenting our plans and showing them what we have.
I realize that things have changed from 10 months ago and how we're not connecting in person. So how is your organization communicating with your potential clients, with your regular clients, and in talking about Medicare benefits and all of this? How are you doing it?
We are making ourselves accessible. We're trying to venture out to different ways. We are offering telephonic appointments. We're trying to take all precautions necessary. We do have our office available. However, we do have our, you know, our 6 feet distance where we do have our protection. We do have our face masks. At the same time, it's what's most important. Keeping our community safe and following all the guidelines is very important. So right now we are offering as well as video options over the computer. We are, as I mentioned, the telephonic appointments or in person if they do feel comfortable.
Wow. And your agents are available virtually as well if a family, you know, is using the Snapchat or, you know, the chats and all that kind of stuff. I don't even know all the different ways that we can connect. Yes. Are you all helping them that way?
Yes, we do actually. We have FaceTime. We're able to do Skype. So if sometimes we have to guide them because they're not well versed. I mean, a lot of us, this is new for us. So we do try to guide them, you know, and just so that we can try and make it easier for them and so that they feel comfortable. So yeah, we try to use every avenue possible, Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp, whatever we can.
You know, the enrollment period is ending here pretty soon around December 7th. So everybody's kind of getting that last effort to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to make a choice on making any changes or keeping what they have already. So tell me about what you're doing with this enrollment period.
We are reaching out to our current members and just trying to reach out to potential members as well. it's important that you make a decision, you know, well before December 7th, and there's only a few weeks left, because it's really hard to make such a drastic decision so quick on the 7th. And you'd be surprised, so many people call us after the 7th trying to enroll or trying to do something, and it's too late. As much as we want to help them, we can't. We can't. So just, be mindful of that December 7th is the deadline.
Is there a penalty?
There is a couple of penalties if you're not enrolled in the Part B when you're supposed to. Also, if you're not enrolled in the Part D, which is your prescription part. So there's people that don't know about those penalties. So again, we advise them, we let them know. We call Social Security together, we call Medicare together. We do three-way calls so that they know exactly and they hear it from them. There is penalties, but it just depends on everybody. Everybody's, a different scenario. So we just would, it would be yeah.
And, we keep talking about additional benefits, and you mentioned a few a little bit ago, but tell me about, either one of you could tell me about those additional benefits that WellCare offers.
So as I mentioned earlier, we do help with benefits that, as you know, Medicare may not cover for. The main thing is dental. That's one of our biggest things. Dental is very expensive. So we do offer dental plans. With every plan, we do have different benefits, as well as vision, as well as hearing. We do offer those additional benefits. And then the great thing about it is that we include the Part D, which is the plan for the medication. So we include all of those benefits in one. So it's a lot more expensive versus traditional Medicare Part A and Part B.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Mary. Yeah, we have way more than that too. We have transportation. We have some plans that even offer meals. We also have certain benefits so that they can order food from different vendors and they would be delivered to their house. So transportation, there's a lot of things that they can definitely benefit. And again, these are a lot of things that they don't know that they're entitled to.
Wow. And we find, I have found recently through the years that dental is so expensive, vision is so expensive, and I'm sure that the hearing apparatuses are expensive. So those are kind of nice little extras that you all offer through WellCare, and to help our community of seniors that really need to stay healthy, be able to see, be able to take care of them. Of course, hearing is such an important aspect of daily living and quality of life, sight as well. And one of the important things is how great the agents are and how caring you are about making sure that every plan is individualized. And do you find that every case is different?
Sorry. Personally, I find it, yes. I personally like to meet each person's needs. Most important, I like to look at what they're looking for. Every person is different. They have different needs. Some prefer more dental versus more vision. Some prefer a little bit more hearing benefits. So just getting to know that person, asking what their needs are. Most importantly, their doctors, trying to see what doctors they have, what managed care that they are currently receiving. So we try to keep that in mind, trying to keep, what their importance are. And like we mentioned before, we do have different benefits, different plans. So each plan has a different need for each person. So we try to accommodate their needs as well as recommend what would be the most beneficial plan for each person.
And that includes prescriptions, right?
Definitely, yes, because those can get very, very pricey. So that definitely is important.
Okay, well, super. I know there's many ways that we can get a hold of you where our viewers can talk to you about their particular case as far as Medicare insurance and all of this this talk that is right now is so important for everybody to be covered. So tell us how they can reach you.
We do have an office here in El Paso, Texas. We're located at 1700 North Zaragoza, WellCare Health Plans. We also have our personal numbers. Again, my name is Leslie. My number is 915-401-5256. And then Claudia as well.
And my number is 915-471-8327. And also keep in mind, our local office right now, it is a corporate office. It's closed, but you are able to go there by appointment if you feel that you want to do more of a personalized meeting. It is by appointment, and it will remain closed at least probably till April of next year. But there is always someone that is there to assist in case somebody does go by. Again, we are taking all the necessary precautions, and just keep in mind that sometimes, like I said, it's preferred to go by appointment because sometimes they won't let you go in if somebody else is in there. So just keep that in mind.
Very good. Do you have a website as well that people can visit?
Yes, it's just www.wellcare.com, and then it'll prompt you to choose your state. Obviously, we're in the state of Texas, so it's just Texas, and you're able to look at the plans there and what we offer as well.
Super. Well, I want to thank you, ladies, for taking time today to be on Mature Living and sharing your information.
The office number is 915-856-2501, and there's always somebody there that can assist you as well.
Super. Well, thank you. We've been talking with Leslie Del Cid and Claudia Merkle. They are Medicare advisors with WellCare Health Plans. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
The Foundation for El Paso Community College helps support students with scholarships and emergency funding. Your donation not only helps a student improve their quality of life through education, it also benefits our entire border region. I am proud to support students by giving to the Foundation for EPCC. I ask you to do the same. Your donation makes a difference. Thank you for making EPCC the best place to start and finish.
Well, thank you for staying with us here on Mature Living. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program. And I've been thinking about how we're spending Thanksgiving this week, thinking about how different life is than a year ago, thinking about how we're not going to gather around with our family and friends, maybe 10, 15 people at the table, thinking about those seniors that are not going to be with family, that are not going to be picked up to go to the family Thanksgiving celebrations. So I've asked Nancy Green to join me. She's one of our instructors with the Senior Adult Program, and to talk about this, about gratitude, and to talk a little bit about her class at the end of this interview in Expressions of Life. I'm sure that topic will come up in the class as well. And of course, I'm one of her students as well. Thank you, Nancy, for being with us today here on Mature Living and talking to us about your thoughts, how we can approach this Thanksgiving season.
Thank you for inviting me, Mary. And you're right, Thanksgiving is a very important time for so many families, and also for some of us who live alone and use the time in a special kind of way. You know, for me, it's about reflection and being grateful, of course, for many, many blessings that we all receive. And life is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the doctor asks me, how are you doing? Whether I go to the eye doctor and I say, staying alive, doctor, staying alive. and that's a priority, and we need to be thankful for our lives, and that we're not being hit so hard as some of these families that are in sorrow, in mourning, from loss of family members and relatives and friends. It's a sad time, but there can be some things we can be grateful for, right, Nancy? What are some of those things?
I think of the support systems that we cultivate, relatives, friends, co-workers, and we look out for each other. We may call each other just to make sure that everything is going well. We may share maybe some food that is given to us, and then you and I have definitely worked together as a team to make sure that some of the persons that we know are taken care of. We take care of each other, and those support systems are so important. Sometimes people get so depressed that maybe they may want to commit suicide, but there is that one friend that will call at the right time and talk with them. And next thing you know, maybe they're laughing, they're reminiscing, and next thing you know, they are both grateful for having each other in their lives. And those support systems are so important.
Yes. Isolation, loneliness right now is prevalent in our community because we're trying to stay safe. We're not going out just for the essentials, as they always tell us, just for food or to the doctor, just essential, picking up your medications. And you're right about that sharing. That has increased so much even in my with my neighbors. I bake something and I share, and I go to the house and I leave it there at the doorstep, and they know, and it's kind of a giving and a taking, and we become closer in that way. That's a beautiful way. That's something that has grown, that was not there before. It was just not there before. Sharing our food, sharing greetings, sharing with phone calls, checking in on friends. We wanted to start a buddy system with women that are living alone, and that we just want to check on each other, because we found that sometimes you find somebody very ill and you don't even know that they have not gotten out of that bed for days, but we need to make those phone calls. We still have that social connection that we have to have.
That is so true. And sometimes I might make a call, and I always make sure that I ask my friends, are you busy? Right? And a lot of times they say, yes, maybe someone is visiting, or maybe they're preparing a meal. And we talk about that. We talk about the recipes of food, and we laugh a little bit. Other times they might say, oh, I'm not busy, but I was just listening to my favorite music and I was dancing in the living room. And we laugh and we tell stories. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, I gotta go because I gotta go pick up, either a person or a lot of times, a lot of the seniors are also taking responsibility for doing the online classes. They're helping their grandchildren. Yes. And to me, I have a lot of respect for the parents and the grandparents that are making it their business that the children continue to learn, yes. And yes, and including discipline in the home without being abusive, because that's the best way to teach the children. And so the children are also learning from their grandparents. Yes. And it reminds me of the traditional way that in so many families, grandparents taking care of the children meant that that the children were exposed to some beautiful traditions, ways in a healthy way, how to solve problems. Even if there weren't enough beans, somehow when the meal was prepared, there were enough beans for the 10, 15 people plus any guests or any friends that stopped by. Yes. And that is those are beautiful traditions. When the children get sick and the grandparents are there, with some manzanilla or some hierbabuena, istafiate, whatever is needed. that knowledge, that wisdom that the elders have is being passed on in a different way, but in a traditional way, where the wisdom of the elders is being respected, and we begin to understand how beautiful, what a beautiful system the family is.
Yes.
Everything is taken care of.
And in our families, the elders mean a lot. We tend to take care of them with family members, trying to keep them at home safe. And what kinds of things can we do for our viejitos, our seniors that are homebound, that are not really driving anymore? What kinds of things come to your mind that we can do? Sometimes just even reading a poem to them, or bringing a little bit of hierbabuena to the house from the garden. Maybe we have mint in the garden, which is growing, and it just multiplies in a garden where you can take it out even from the roots, or put the leaves in a teapot and just let it simmer with instead of coffee, having a nice pot of mint. And is that hierbabuena?
Yes. ¿Verdad? And you're so right that taking the time to spend with our loved ones, instead of feeling bored or having to watch a lot of violent television, to just sit and talk, las pláticas.
Yes.
The elders have a need to feel active and important in the family, because they have given so much, and we collectively as older adults understand that the sacrifices that we have made in our lives made a difference for our children, the extended family as well, but mainly that the sacrifices that we made have meaning. And when we tell our stories, that through, just like you and I are talking right now, when we tell our stories, then the bonding that happens is very healthy.
Yes.
¿Verdad? Yeah.
Yes, one of the things that I love about your class, your Expressions of Life classes coming virtually through online into our homes as we register for the senior adult program, is the videos that you select for us to look at and view, enjoy, and then write about and reflect on that message. Tell me about those 3 videos that people can even go to YouTube and see as an encouragement. And one of them is the table, when you eat at the table. Another one, and just tell me about it, because I'll make a mistake in naming them. And the authors, of course,
Yes, the kitchen table, ¿verdad? That's not the name of the poem, because I can't remember right now the name of the poem. I think it's what brings us together is poetry. Joy Harjo is a Native American writer who is also the U.S. Poet Laureate. The U.S. Poet Laureate is selected by the Library of Congress to promote poetry, to facilitate poetry readings, and also now, of course, to record some of their poetry. And we saw the video that Joy Harjo recorded that focuses on the kitchen table. Yes. and how families gather at the kitchen table, and all the wonderful things that happen around the kitchen table that bring us together. It's a beautiful piece. Joy Harjo, Harjo, and we go into YouTube, and we're able to view her. We're able to view videos by Sandra Cisneros, the Chicana writer, and she wrote a beautiful poem called 11.
Oh, I love that one too.
When she was 11 years old, and as a child, how she was trying to find her voice. The children won't speak, they're too shy. And if there's an authority figure like a teacher or even sometimes a parent, they don't dare speak. Others are, a little bit more outspoken and traviesos and traviesas, but there are some children that are trying to find their voice, and that's what that poem is about. And then another one is an interview with Denise Chavez, who is also a Chicana writer, lives in the Mesa area in New Mexico. And she was giving away books to a lot of the families, the refugees who were in shelters. She was distributing books to the children and the parents so that in their travels they would have books to read, and speaks about her experience meeting a lot of the families in the shelters. Brings us Dolores Huerta. There's another video that we looked at when we focused on the work ethic and how a lot of the farm workers are risking their lives to do the work that they do that's so necessary so that we can gather and have fresh fruits and vegetables in our homes.
You know, one of the things that I noticed about Denise Chavez is that she says, I represent these people. I represent these, and who do we represent? We need to think about who we are and who do we represent. And we need to reflect and be grateful for our ancestors who have taught us our value system and our morals and our principles that we carry on into our own old age, into the advanced age. And that's what we should be passing down at the Thanksgiving table is let's talk. I love to talk to you because you always bring out kind of the best thoughts out of me, and I don't even know where that came from. But wouldn't that be a nice thing to reflect on our ancestors and our values, what they have passed on to us?
That is a beautiful tradition that continues. We just finished celebrating Day of the Dead, and I firmly believe that our ancestors always sit at the table with us and bless us and join us in our joy and in our expressions of hope, ¿verdad? And gratitude.
And this is a great way to end this interview, because this conversation, because hope, there's always hope. Anybody that lives without hope, life isn't perfect. But when you have hope, even if it's not perfect at this time, there's always what can be. Mm-hmm. What can life be like? Nancy, how can they get a hold of you? Because you are very active in the community. You're working on plays. Tell me a little bit about the play that you've been working on with lots of partners real quick here, and how they can get a hold of you.
The Tornillo Collectives, a group of artists, all women, we're working on finishing up a script for a play that we're writing about the detention centers and what is happening to the children in the detention centers. They can get a hold of me if I can say my telephone number, sure. 915-803-4782. A sus órdenes, a su servicio.
We say happy Thanksgiving to all of our families and our viewers that are watching today. Thank you, Nancy, for helping me send out that message.
Thank you, Mary.
Everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.